Here I have a hand assistant, aka Mrs. Hodor, who is kindly holding open her husband's ear for me. This patient, let's call him Hodor. Hodor felt extremely blocked in his left ear. He's had a few earwax removals elsewhere before this, so this is my first time helping him. Using a standard size Zollner, I immediately get a really good seal on the surface of the wax. A few pieces coming away here from the surface, but it's not really budging. Hodor has limited mobility, so although I have oiled, I'm not able to get the oil to reach those deep down areas to coat the deeper parts of the wax. A few keratinous layers mixed with wax here, back in, and you can see on the right side of the screen some of the keratin encapsulating the blockage is coming away on the side, and we are getting some pink skin revealed underneath, which I'm keeping an eye on. A tug of war going on here, but you can see some of the blockage is appearing slightly closer to the entrance, and here the wax went into the tube and didn't break away. I have to keep a really close eye on the pink layer because this patient does take some blood thinners, so I want to make sure that there's no cuts in the skin as I'm doing the earwax removal, or if I'm taking off a layer of keratin, I want to make sure that it's not going to reveal any blood underneath, because it can be a bit more difficult to stop the flow of the blood with somebody who's taking aspirin. Here I have a hand assistant, aka Mrs. Hodor, who is kindly holding open her husband's ear for me. I'm going over to another part of the surface to see if it moves, and look at the difference holding the ear open has done. Many wiggling motions, and it is coming out slowly. But then I think the hooraying was too early, as some of it breaks off because it's way too soft. Lots of wiggling motions again, and the wax looks very soft in this part of the blockage. Going up into the tube and back out again to create a seal with the blanketing, but it's just all too soft, and the oil hasn't reached the deeper part of the meatus or the ear canal to lubricate the edges of it enough for it to be released in the medial parts. Here I've oiled once again. Oiling heavily does allow the wax to somehow stick together and come out nicely. That part just got sucked into the tube as I'm trying to show you what came out. And here we go, we finally have some movement, but it breaks off again disappointingly. But look at that very long piece of wax and keratin mixed in. Now you're probably thinking here, how much wax is there? Hang on in there, we are not finished yet by any means. This is truly the never-ending earwax. With the ear held open and the ear canal widened, we suddenly get some movement of seismic portions, and here it is. It is absolutely humongous, with a piece of ribboned keratin mixed in and hanging down. And here's a still on this one because I think it really deserves it. And you are wrong if you think we are done now. Not yet. Back in, and the Zollner latches onto a stray piece of wax on the side that gets sucked straight in. And I am carrying on with the wiggling movement. The piece that comes off really gives us an insight into how the ribbons of keratin fold up on themselves within the build-up of the wax, the oils, the hairs and the dead skin. And here we go, another piece. Thick, dark brown in colour, tells me that it's been there for a while. And now we have a very scarred looking eardrum peeping out from the back, some areas yellow and thick and calcified, and still lots of residue of oil and bits of wax, which I'll attempt to remove now. And this is for my skin pull people. Look at this phenomenal amount of skin just sitting on the surface. You can see it's connected to the very deep parts of the ear. It does come up and sits back down again. I'm trying to blanket it here all together with a smaller fine end tip, but it's simply not enough suction. We need a bigger Zollner, and there you can see a small amount comes off and shies away into the tip and tubing. And finally, we have some joy with some of the more lateral parts of the skin coming off, but I think that's enough for this ear. And here's the final shot of the left eardrum, extremely scarred as you can see, but it is a healed eardrum, and we do sometimes get this sort of pattern on the eardrum where there have been numerous infections as a child, and we get this healing pattern. Now over to the right side. Not as much wax and keratin here. I would almost describe this as peripheral wax and keratin. I've oiled here too on this side, but the oil has simply gone to the bottom of the ear canal and is sitting on the tympanic membrane. Not a problem, as it does dampen the sound of the microsuction and makes everything more comfortable for the patient anyway. And here we go, another slightly awkward angle for both patient and audiologist, and we get the same lifting up, and the oiled keratin comes up but it goes down again. Using a fine tip here to reduce the clarinetting for patient comfort, And here again we have an amazing skin pull for the lovely skin pull people. Areas breaking off from the mother of pearl skin, which is being lifted, which is newer, and we do have some scraggly areas of that keratin still sticking out, but this ear is now done. And here's the final shot of the right ear. Lots of oil on the eardrum, which was drained out later, but you can see it's not scarred like the other eardrum. And that's our lot for today, folks. Thank you for coming back to watch this episode 52 of Wax Off. Please keep liking and subscribing and sharing my videos. I can't get my channel to where I'm trying to get it without your support. As always, peace out, and I will see you in the next one.